Now, Kenya has no headroom for additional borrowing. That is the latest update from the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, who says that the government is now focused on liability management. This comes just days after the government initiated the swapping of short-term debt worth 88 billion shillings into a longer-term facility to help create a fiscal breathing space. Professor Ndung'u now says that Kenya also needs to be careful about where and how it is trimming expenditure so as not to deepen an already tight economic environment.
Right now, we don't have headroom for accumulating debt. So in a sense, we have to go down into liability management. But on that is also the topic, the response I've given my friend here is the whole issue of when you are buffeted by multiple shocks. The reaction is actually to use the resources that you have or even borrow to overcome the crisis. And that is the most important thing. The second thing is that budget cuts are necessary to try and shift resources to need areas, for example, saving lives. So in a sense, it is austerity measures to try and save lives. And that is noble in itself, isn't it? But the most important thing is also, and this is also something that we had discussions with the IMF, I've seen questions coming about that, we had questions. So most of the time, we have to look at what is essential and what is not essential. You cannot affect aggregate demand in times of recession. That is why the budget cuts were in areas which were not essential. For example, travel by some travel in some ministries that are not crucial, for example. That would be something that you can postpone. Secondly, projects that are not yet started. It is a whole issue that you can actually suspend or postpone the timing. These are the issues that we are really looking at. So essentially, they are not issues that will affect the aggregate demand, because essentially we have to protect that in times of recession.